So welcome everybody. Welcome to Hot Song Podcast. It's October the 23rd, 2025. And our topic for this evening is dissolving mental misalignments. I forgot how long ago, maybe another like 2-3 months ago, I talked about how to clear emotional issues. I think I did quite a few um, podcast episodes on that, and I think maybe about two weeks ago I did a release with all of you, and that's to release. I believe it is which one is it? Okay, identity and narrative, that one. So I've actually done some of these, the dissolving mental misalignments with you, but this time I want to really focus on the process itself, explaining all the steps and also explaining anything that haven't been covered yet, so that you all would be able to, if you feel that there's any mental misalignments, meaning that if you have any thought patterns that are kind of tripping you up, that is making your life, not going so well, then you can actually let it go. You can let go of these misalignments so that you can become more focused and easier for you to master your own mental state. So this is all to assist you. These tools are here to assist you so that you can master your own emotions, and also this time mainly focus on mastering your mental state. Also belief system, all this. So this is what this process is for. Okay, so let's begin then. So I've grouped all of these mental misalignments into about 10 of them. So thought-based, misalignments, belief-based, judgment and comparison, kind of misalignments, perception-based, control and resistance, confusion and disconnection, reactive thought, identity and narrative, logic and truth, displacement, and programmatic or artificial thought forms. Because there are artificial thought forms. They are the thought forms that's from collective. So they are not really our own family in particular, but they are things that the collective, it could be your own nationality, or it could be it just affects every human being. So those are not personal to you. However, because you are connected to the collective, so some of the programs that the collective subscribe to, you may be affected by them, but that does not mean that you have no choice. You can opt out of that. So, I know there are 10 groups, and like each one of them, they actually have, so this kind of tell you in a very high level what each of these is, what's the focus, and also, what is the root cause. I'm going to send you all these slides, so don't worry about it. I'll be sending these to you. So I just want to go over the high level, because there are 10 of them, so I won't be going into details with each one of these. It's just too much. So I would just be focusing on, I think I would focus on the control and resistance, because I think that's important to kind of get out of the way for this episode. And then next week, or maybe even the week after, I will be going through more of these. And but anyways, at a very high level, the first group is thought-based. So it is really structured this distortion, and it's brain overactive. So when you think too much and your brain is overactive, then these are kind of the thought-based. And then belief-based is program distortion, meaning the way you've been programmed from within your own family, or even from school as well. So program distortion, so conditioning. Just because we've been programmed a certain way does not mean that we are powerless. We can actually start to release them. So judgment and comparison. So I know we like to compare a lot. So these are more duality, distortion, so ego polarity, because we have our ego and we like to be better. So we compare. So I'm better than this, or they're worse. So I'm not going to be their friend. That kind of that's what this group is. Perception based is how you interpret things. And when we interpret things, we put in a lot of, like, we misread signals a lot. So it's more perception. And then control and resistance. Why I want to focus on this week is because we do a lot of resisting, and whatever it is that you resist, it actually, and you're holding it there. So if we let go of some resistance and we let go of trying to control and micromanage everything, our life actually would flow so much more smooth. So, and in confusion, disconnection is coherence, distortion, and fragmentation. Reactive thought is charge distortion. So more to do with emotions. So the charge is really emotional charge. Because a situation, if you had a very emotional reaction to it, then you're going to react to certain things. Identity and narrative. So what we think of ourselves, who we think we are, the story we tell ourselves. So it is, we are very attached to the identity that we have created for ourselves. So logic and truth, so reasons, meaning that because we like to think that we are reasonable, but our reasons sometimes are not actually very logical. So programmatic artificial thought. So these are from external, which is referring to collective, whether it is the human collective, or it could be the Canadian collective, or it could be the American collective. So different collectives has different thought forms that is there for everybody to participate in if we choose to. Okay. So these are kind of the more detailed write-up for each of these. So I'm not going to go into each one of these. I can send this to you so that you can read more on it. But today I just want to focus on number 5. So let's take a look at number 5. So control and resistance misalignments. These are the mental structures that resist flow, change, or the unknown. And because we are in a time, a phase of the human history where we are going through a lot of change. And so that's why I think this is really good to let go of, to do as our release this evening, because even though what is changing for the good, but because we don't know what it is going to be changed to. So it's the fear of the unknown that we're trying to resist this change. So it is really about fear of uncertainty. We try to control everything because when we it's like underneath the over control and the micromanagement, it's really fear of uncertainty. It's also mental rigidity or stubbornness because we grew up a certain way, doing things a certain way. So whenever there is change, we resist it. So resistance to anything that is new. Denial or avoidance of responsibility. So that can be something that is going to make us more resistant. Attachment to being right, compulsive planning or mental control of outcomes. These are all fear-based reaction. So this is what this group of control and resistance misalignment is all about. So any questions or comments so far before I continue on? Not really. Okay. So like all these are different ways that our mind is kind of misaligned and making our life more difficult than it needs to be. And so what is the process that we're suggesting to dissolve it? So just want to go through, this is the script, and I just want to go through each of these because some of these are new concept. So basically the first, so 39-inch activate, that's for protection. 0-point activate, that's just starting to activate your soul connection. And then pure energy is to make sure that you your soul can talk to your body, because pure energy kind of shuts down. When it's done correctly, properly, it will shut down your emotional body and also your mental body, so that your soul would be able to communicate directly with your body. So pure source is just love. It's just activating love. So pure soul. Soul is, there are many levels of soul. Many levels of soul. There is the operational soul, and then there is the original soul. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this a little later on. And then void activate. So void is really a space where everything is no longer solid anymore. So that all of them emotional or mental energies just kind of start to dissolve. So coherence activate. So up to coherence activate, this is part of the unified soul, the USF, so unified soul field. So once we have the coherence activate, then unified soul field is activated, meaning that you've created a certain level of field, energy field, that is your soul. And then After that, so spark activate. And then 8-inch activate. 8-inch is the mental plane. 8 inches mental plane. And fifth dimension, 5D activate. It is the dimension that facilitates in dissolving mental structures. And then all group, which is for us, the group meaning that the group you want to work with. So all, let's say we're doing 5 today. So that means all control and resistance misalignment, release, activate. So that is the command. And then you wait for completion. Signal. Okay, this is wrong spelling. It should be signal. Wait for completion signal. So how do you know your completion? So usually when you first start, you may feel energy moving a lot because you are your energy field is actually working to dissolve the misalignments. So you would actually feel, if you can feel energy, you would feel energy moving quite a bit. And then after a while, when it's almost done, then you will feel calmer. Your energy will become, there's no more movement. And also you will feel an openness. So you will feel the openness clearing. And that's the completion signal. And then after that, you just thank you. Thank you for all the assistance from 8-inch, from 5D, from SoSpark, and all of that. Okay, so this is kind of the general structure of how to release. And now let me get back to talking more about the soul. So there is pure soul, and then there is SoSpark. So what are the difference between these two? So let's take a look at the cosmology diagram. Okay, let me make this a bit bigger. Okay, remember last week we talked about 1. So this is one instance of 1 because there are multiple instances of 1. So this is just within a single 1 field. So from the single 1 field, then there is the pure source field. It consists of everything within that 1 field consists of pure source field. And within that pure source field, after a while, when it is ready, then from the pure source field, soul sparks would be created, which is formless essence. Formless essence, you can think of that as the spirit. We have a soul and then a spirit. Soul is more, it's a form, whereas spirit or the soul spark is formless. It's pure energy. So soul sparks is kind of quite high level because it is the first thing that's being formed within the pure source field is soul sparks. And then within the pure source field, there's also pure void. There's also different levels of void. And then from the soul spark, then the soul spark would create an operational source. Okay, so it is not the pure source. Here we have a pure source field, which does nothing. It's just a field. And then soul spark is created, then operational source. Operational source actually start to do work. And the operational source also have an operational void, which is the little bit lower level of void, and then also starts to create soul forms as well. And from these soul forms, there is the pure soul. Pure soul, it has, why it's called pure soul? Because it has the original blueprint. So the void that we usually go into is this level of void, which is kind of it's not a pure void, but it's just a regular void. At some point, we would be able to get to pure void. Right now, we are just using a void. So pure soul has original blueprint. And then from this pure soul, we also start to create from the operational source. There's also operational soul. So the difference between pure soul and operational soul is the operational soul is the one that actually goes and have karmic experiences, and it's time bound. So the soul that's with us most of the time is our operational soul. And the operational soul then would go and create a human form, which is the body for experiencing Earth. So that is how that's how we go from one. So how we go from the one source field into a human being. So this is kind of what we're talking about. So when we say pure soul, just to let you know, means that we are trying to access the level of soul that has the original blueprint. And when we are working with the fifth dimension and also starting to create dissolve the mental misalignments, we are invoking the soul sparks. We are invoking our soul spark, which is a much higher level of or the creator of our pure soul. So it's a much higher level of our soul. Okay. Question, suggestion, comments so far?
So far, so good.
So far, so good? Okay. So just to let you know that there are, when I do this, when I go for the script, I have, the pure soul. This is just to let you know that the difference between a pure soul and the soul spark is that soul spark is actually a much higher level. The pure soul is high enough because the pure soul has our original blueprint. So we're actually looking and working with higher level of energies when we do this release. Let's see. Okay, so I just explained this, how we go from the one source field all the way to creating a human body. So that's the cosmology diagram that I just went through. And this is the script that we are using. So let me just get out of here first. Before we begin to actually do the release, just want to give you guys any last chance to ask any questions, comments. No, all is good. Okay.